Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and this is another bookish video. Hello friends, so in today's video we are gonna go over some of my favorite and maybe not so favorite books of 2023 so far. And I'll be doing that by doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I have the questions here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get right into the books. I've read a total of 33 books at the time I'm filming this, and I've had a lot of good books, but I had a few not so great books that I have read. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this video, and we will go ahead and start with the questions. Okay, so the first question for this tag was to show what your favorite book of the year so far is, and I actually have 3. I couldn't choose a favorite right now, but these are all my top 3. I only have 3 here. So first one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is probably one of my new favorite romance fantasy books, or fantasy romance books. I still have to read the sequels for it, but I love this, and once I got into it, I did not want to put it down. But yeah, I love this, and I know this is going around booktube and book talk, and it's becoming very popular. But yeah, definitely is a new favorite. And then the second book I have is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I actually read this pretty recently, and this was very hard to read, but it had a very big emotional impact on me, and I was crying at the end of this. But yeah, definitely check trigger warnings before going into this one. I don't know if I'd want to recommend this, but it is very emotional, very hard to read, but definitely had a huge impact on me, and I ended up loving it and giving it 5 stars. But yeah, definitely check trigger warnings if you want to read this. And then the last book I have is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This was a Smut Salon book club Patreon book club pick for Katie Colson's Patreon, and I ended up loving this one. I love the writing. There was times when I got very emotional while reading it, and it hit me a lot personally. So yeah, this is definitely a new favorite, and I definitely recommend this one. But yeah, I'm glad that she had it as a book club pick, because I don't know when I would have gotten to it otherwise. But yeah, definitely recommend this one. I love it. If you haven't read it yet, I definitely recommend it. So the second question was, what was the best sequel you read? And for that, I'm going to choose The Housemaid's Secret. It's the second book in the Housemaid's series. I don't know if there's going to be a third one, but I loved the first one, gave that one 5 stars, and I wasn't so sure about the sequel, but I ended up loving that one as well. I gave it 4 stars, but yeah, those two, I flew through both of those in a day. So I definitely recommend, if I know they're very hyped right now. But yeah, those 2 books were very good thrillers. They weren't the best, but I just flew through them, and they were easy to read. and entertaining at the, like, they were just fun thrillers to read. And I ended up loving them, and I gave the first one 5 stars, and then, yeah, I gave the second one, the sequel, 4 stars. So yeah, definitely recommend because they were a lot of fun. Okay, so the third question is a new release I haven't read yet, and I have like a whole stack here and also more of like new releases that came out yet that I haven't read yet but really want to very soon. Right now I have In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, and then The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I'm not sure why I haven't gotten to it. This was one of my most anticipated thrillers. And then, of course, I have Fourth Wing. I think I'm like one of the last people that hasn't read it yet. Very excited to read this, and like I pre-ordered it and I just haven't gotten to it yet. I have other things I wanted to like finish first. And yeah, this might be part of a video coming soon. But I'm not sure yet. But yeah, definitely want to get to this one very soon because I have heard literally nothing but good things about it. So yeah, definitely want to get to this one. And then of course all of these I want to get to very soon. And then there's also a ton of other like new releases that I haven't gotten to yet and want to. Okay, so the next question is an anticipated release that you're excited to read or get for like that releases in the second half of the year. And for that, I'm choosing a Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's a new fantasy romance series that she is releasing in the fall. I love the From Blood and Ash series, so when I saw that she was coming out with another, like a new world for like another like romantic fantasy romance, I was like so excited. I definitely like pre-ordered that like right away because I will like read anything that she writes. I love, like, my favorite like fantasy romance of all time is the From Blood and Ash series. So yeah, I'm very excited for that that start of a new series. And then there is, of course, other like releases that I'm very excited about, but yeah, that is definitely my most anticipated release for the second half of the year. The next question is your biggest disappointment of the year so far. And for that, I'm choosing A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa. I also read Rhapsodic this year and loved it. I gave that one 5 stars, and I was so excited to read the sequel, and I ended up being kind of bored in this one. It wasn't like horrible, but it was like not like, it wasn't as like fun as like I definitely had more fun with the first one. And like, yeah, this one wasn't bad, but I was just disappointed that I didn't love it as much as the first one. I think I ended up giving this like a 3.5 stars. So like that isn't a bad rating. I just wanted to like love it as much as the first book, and I still haven't picked up the third book because I'm like afraid to be disappointed in that one. So yeah, please let me know down in the comments if the third one is like if I should pick it up like right away, because yeah, I still love the first book, and this one wasn't bad. I just was a little disappointed that it like I didn't love it as much. Like it took me like 2 weeks to read this one because there were parts that like kind of like dragged. But yeah, I definitely want to still continue this series. It's just I've been putting it off, and yeah, I still like, yeah, I want to continue, but I want to know if it's like, I'm afraid that it will be another disappointment. Okay, so the opposite of biggest disappointment. Now I have the next question, which is biggest surprise. And for that, I chose Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. I read this also recently, and I did not have very like big expectations going into this. This is kind of like, it has like it's a kind of like prose poetry like type writing style, and I'm not like used to that writing style, so I didn't know if I would like this very much. Like I thought it would maybe like give it like 3 stars maybe, but I ended up loving this book. I think I put on Goodreads that it's a 4-star, but I'm thinking it's like a 4.5. I definitely would check like the trigger, like the topic. I mean, you can like, on like reading the back what it'll be about, which it's about SA, and like it talks about that. So yeah, definitely like a hard-hitting book and very emotional read. And I ended up loving the writing and ended up loving this book overall, and I'm very excited. I'm very glad I picked it up. This was also another book from Katie Coulson's Patreon book club. So yeah, very glad that this was another book chosen. Like I have loved like every book I've read so far this year from her book club that I have read. So yeah, very glad that I have been loving these books, and I can't wait to see what other books, like we're reading One for Your Enemy by Olivia Blake, so I am definitely like hoping to love it as much as I loved Alone with You in the Ether. But yeah, very excited to like read more from Olivia Blake. That was also a big surprise too, because I wasn't expecting to love that one as much either. But yeah, this definitely was a big surprise. Okay, so the next question is your new favorite author. And it can be one that you read before or is new to you, or like a new author, like you read their debut. And for that I chose Darcy Coates. This is definitely a new favorite author. I read this and ended up loving it. And I read a couple other books by her as well, but this has like set like her up as like one of my new favorite authors. I still need to continue this series because this ended in a cliffhanger, so I don't know why I haven't picked up the second book already. But yeah, love this book. Definitely recommend it if you haven't read it yet. Another favorite author I have, Lily Gold. I read this book and then 3 Swedish Mountain Men by her this year and love them. They were like very quick reads. I read them like both in like one day. And I'm very excited to read more from her. I have 2 of her other books on my physical TBR. I am very excited to get to both of those. So yeah, Lily Gold, definitely another new favorite. And then of course I have Olivia Blake. I read this, gave it 5 stars, probably gonna be on my favorites of the year. So yeah, definitely she's definitely a new favorite author. And then I have Carissa Broadbent. I love Serpent in the Wings of Night, and I'm also currently reading 6 Scorched Roses and loving that as well. So yeah, definitely a new favorite author, and I'm excited to continue this series and also read her other series as well. Okay, so the next question is newest fictional crush. And I don't really have get a big fictional crushes on like characters anymore. But if I had to choose to like 2 of the characters in books that I like loved, like the 2 male characters, I would choose Rain from Serpent in the Wings of Night. I just loved him. Like he's a vampire with wings, and I just love the way he treated Aurea. um, throughout like the book. And yeah, I just ended up like falling in love with him. And I'm excited to read more about him in the sequel. And then my other new fictional crush is Dante Russo from King of Wrath. I ended up loving him. He was so, like, this was like kind of like enemies to lovers kind of to start. But like, you could tell that he was you could tell he was like loving Vivian from the start. But yeah, he was like the way he treated her as well, and like their little like little antics he had and stuff. Yeah, definitely loved Dante as well. All right, the next question is your newest favorite character. And for that, I'm going to choose Delilah from Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I just loved her character throughout this whole book. Loved reading about her. Loved her like attitude and like her style, and I just like loved reading about her and like loved her like the like story. And yeah, she was so much fun to read about, and I'm excited to read the second book in this like trilogy, and it follows her stepsister, and I'm sure we'll probably also see her a little bits of her in there too. So yeah, I'm very excited. And yeah, she was definitely a new favorite character of mine. All right, next question is a book that made you cry, and I actually have two. My first one is Instructions for Dancing, which I went into this knowing nothing, and I was not expecting to cry at the end of this. That is all I'm gonna say. I was not expecting it, and I ended up crying like the rest of the book, like towards at the end of the book. But yeah, that is all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, definitely a book that made me cry. And then the second book I have is Still Beating, which I told you was very an emotional read, and I ended up like crying like the last like 10% of this book. But yeah, love this book. Definitely had a big emotional impact on me, and I definitely cried while reading this. Okay, so next question, which is opposite of the last question, and it is a book that made you happy. And I'm choosing the two books I read by Lily Gold, Three Swedish Mountain Men and Faking with Benefits. These books just made me so happy. Like, I loved reading about like the all of these like characters and the relationship. And they were so much fun to read. There was obviously like conflict and like drama in these, but they just like they were so fun, and I just was so happy reading them like the entire time. And I definitely recommend these are like good ones to get you out of a reading slump if you are into like these like types of books. They are both why choose romances, and yeah, they were just so much fun to read, and I can't wait to read the other two books that I have by Lily Gold. Okay, next question is the most beautiful book you have acquired this year, and of course, I am gonna go with Fourth Wing. I love the gold and the black, and then of course I love like the black dragon edges, and yeah, this is definitely the most beautiful book that I have acquired this year. And yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I am very definitely looking forward to reading it. But yeah, I just love everything about this book, and I hope that I enjoy what's on the inside as well. Okay, next question is book you have to read by the end of the year. And I have a lot of books I want to read before the end of the year. Of course, on top of my list is Fourth Wing. But yeah, there's a ton. Like, I want to finish the Carissa Broadbent books that I own. There's a few series that I need to finish. But yeah, there is a ton of books that I still need to get to this year, and it's a little overwhelming, to be honest. But yeah, I have a lot of books, and I have some videos I have planned that I'm excited about. I just have to, read. I know, I've been in a reading slump, so I just need to get out of it and, film the videos that I want and read, with the books that I want to read. I also still need to get to the latest Zodiac Academy book, and also her new series that she came out, that author duo came out with, Kingdom of Gods and Ruin. That's the prequel, but then there's the actual first book in that series. I really want to get to that as well. Yeah, there is a lot that I need to read still. But yeah, very excited to get to all of those books. Okay, and the last question was your favorite book to movie adaptation that you have watched, read the book and watched this year. And I haven't really watched any new book to movie adaptations. But one that I'm excited for is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I want to read that book very soon. And then also watch the movie. I think it's a movie or a TV show, I'm not sure. But it's coming out in August. I'm very excited about that. I've been wanting to read that book for a while. And now that the movie's coming out, I really want to read it. And then I also still want to read Daisy Jones and the Six and then watch that adaptation. And then I think that's it. For adaptations. I haven't watched anything. I still need to watch the latest season of Shadow and Bone. But yeah, that's I haven't watched much adaptations lately. Actually, I just remembered Alice in Borderland. I haven't read the manga, but that is a show based on that manga, and I love that show. Lexi from Books with Lexi introduced me and a few others from her Patreon to that TV show, and I ended up loving it. I still need to finish the second season, but it is a very great show. But yeah, I haven't read the manga for it yet, or I don't know if it's a manga or graphic novel, but it's based off of that, and I love the show. But yeah, that is all I have for that. Okay, so those were all the questions for the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you leave here with maybe some new recommendations. And please leave in the comments some books that you're excited to read or what your favorite book so far this year is. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.